Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Esteemed Tech. You are watching Artificial Intelligence course and we are working with natural language processing. Let's get started. In this tutorial, we are going to learn list comprehensions. The prerequisite for this tutorial is iterators and lists. The definition of list comprehension is list comprehension offers a shorter syntax when you want to create a new list based on the values of an existing list. For example, you are given a list and you want to create a new list based on the list given to you. You want to create a new list, and in this tutorial we will discuss a shorter way to create a new list. That is simply list comprehension, right? Let's understand how it happens. On this slide, you can see here this list, nums. It contains 7 elements. This is a new list, that is new nums, that is empty. Here we are using a loop, a for loop, for num in nums. Num is an iterator variable, nums is a list that we have defined here. We are using an indent. This is a 4-space indent. Here we are writing an expression. What we actually want from this loop. Here we want a new list, new nums. We want to append all the values, like num is the element one by one from the list nums. Num is an iterator variable that is containing the elements of the list nums one by one. At the first point, it contains 45. It will increment it with 1 and it will append it to the new list new nums. Similarly, in the second part of the execution of the for loop, the element is 89. Num plus 1 will add 1 to the second element, that is 89, and will append it to the new list, that is new nums. And similarly, the same thing will happen with 67, 0, 45, 23 and 12. Now all the elements are incremented by 1 and all these elements are appended to a new list, new nums, and when we will print this new nums list, we will get this output, right? So same thing we can do in one line of code. This is called list comprehension. So what is list comprehension? We can revise it. We can create a new list from an existing list. Yeah. Now there is a shorter syntax. This is the shorter syntax that we're going to learn. So see, focus, right? Focus on what we are reading and what we are studying. Okay, so we all know this new list. Here in this program, you are only given this nums list. We need not to create an empty list. Here we are creating a new nums list where we are enclosing everything in a square brackets, and whatever we want as an output, we are making it here. Num plus 1 is what we want in an output, right? For num and nums, when this loop will be executed, num like element, each and every element one by one from the list nums. This is iterator variable, we all know, right? Num is an iterator variable, so we are incrementing it with 1, all the elements one by one, and it is putting it later into the new list new nums, which is here you can see this square brackets. These are used for creating a list. Now there is a shorter syntax and we are already given a given list nums. Using nums list, we are creating a new list new nums and in a very crisp manner, right? Now the code is very crisp. I hope you understood it. So output is same 46, 90, because in the list nums it was 45, 89, and now we have incremented it with 1 and we have assigned all the values to the new list, new nums, in a crisp manner, in a shorter syntax. This is the shorter syntax specifically. Now let's see the next slide. Here we have a question. We are given a list: friends Sonia, Hermi, Taranjot, Kiran. How would a list comprehension that produces a list of the first character of each string in friends look like? Note that the list comprehension uses alpha as the iterator variable. What will the output be? Now just pause the video here and try to build a logic to create a list comprehension. This is very basic. Let's move forward to the solution. Now you can see here the list comprehension is alpha 0 for alpha in friends. Okay, let's do it on the screen. Here we are given a list of friends equals, I'm creating it randomly. Right? So here, if I have to use for loop, what I'm gonna use is using alpha as iterator variable for alpha in friends, and we want to, the output will be S of Sonia, Harmeet, H of Harmeet, and T of Taranjit, and M of Mania. As you can see in the question, you can go back to the video, go back and check the question again if you have any kind of doubt. So now, using this for loop, I want to get some answer. What is alpha 0 basically? Alpha 0 is, alpha is the first, is the element, like one by one element will be assigned to alpha. First of all, if I'm talking about Sonia in this alpha, if I talk about the first letter, it is at index 0. So that is why I have written here alpha 0. And I want to append it to a new list. I want to create a new list, and I'm appending it to this. And here I'm printing new list that contains the first letter or first alphabet of every friend, every element in the list friends. So see, here it is saying new list is not defined. So I'll have to define it. It should be an empty list. See how it works. So the same thing if I want to do using list comprehensions, what I gonna do is new list, simple, equals, and create a square bracket, and then here I'm gonna put alpha 0 and the loop for alpha in friends, and then print new list. Right? The same thing you can do in 2 lines of code. Yeah? I hope it is interesting. Let's move to the next slide. Here again, there is a question. You know that list comprehensions can be built over iterables. Given the following objects below, which of these can be built list comprehensions over? Now we are given some options and you'll have to check whether we can use these iterables or are these iterables, and can we build list comprehensions over these iterables? Can we recreate these lists using list comprehensions? Now this is a question for you. I'm not going to solve it. Bye bye. Like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell icon. We are so thankful that you are supporting us.